Welcome back. Now, I've been joined in the studio by two guests in the house. I have to my left Mr. Duke Alamboye. He's the South-South Zonal Secretary, National Youth Presidential Campaign Council of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP. And to my right, I have Mr. Musa Maman Kontakora. He's a member of the APC Presidential Campaign Council. Welcome, gentlemen, to the program.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right, I'd like to start with Mr. Duke before we move ahead. At about this morning or last night or so, a poll was released that puts your candidates ahead, a poll that took into account about 3.1 million users and then came to the conclusion that your candidate would be leading or win the election. What's your take on this? Given that there have been so many polls and a lot of them haven't always favored your candidate.
Well, that's quite impressive. With all forms of not being biased, I want to say that as the time gets closer, you'll see so many forecasts, and the propensity to win or to lose becomes more clearer, and the proportionate effect of it becomes also more widened, and people are putting the statistics together, they are forecast together, and some real, some sincere, some insincere ones, some very articulate and precise to facts of how the campaign had gone, how convincingly it has reached out to the public, and these permutations and this forecast begin to come out, and I think I was very impressed and happy when I saw that Nigerians are having the feelers of what the election will take out. In developed countries, you see people do this forecast and get it right. When they forecast like that, you know that that is going to actually be the outcome of the election. In developed countries like America, you saw when they forecasted that Biden was going to win the election, and it came out like that. And that's because it is now all-inclusive. It is because people are now part of the political process. It is because people are now beginning to believe in the system. It is because the political party PDP is doing its best, has done its best, having gone around 35 states in the country, convincingly gone around and swept all news and credits of the country, presented their manifesto to the country, what the country should be in the next 4 years, and you see that the people are really yearning to ensure that the presidential candidate of the PDP becomes the president of our country. That's what you're seeing, and you see more focus come up to such favor by the grace of God. Yeah.
All right, that's good to know. All right, let's move to you now, Mr. Musa. Based on recent happenings, I'd like to get your thoughts on what's going on within your party at the moment. Over the weekend, we saw that the national chairman, after meeting with some governors, came out to say that the party is pretty much with the Supreme Court and the governors, basically, adding to the face-off between the governors and the presidency or the president. What is going on? Is there fire on the mountain?
There is no fire on the mountain. First and foremost, I have to thank God Almighty for the opportunity given to us to go around for the campaign. We are concluding our campaign by the grace of God in Lagos, which is tomorrow. To me, our party is trying its best to see that we are united. Though we have a lot of controversies, but we are trying all possible best to see that our party is one. Though it was weekend, but the national chairman of the party called upon all the governors. What we want is sincerity. What we want is unity. What we want is we should try as much as possible to carry at least each and everybody along. This tax is not a tax of only Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It is a tax of those that are contesting for reps and those that are contesting for senator. What have been discussed initially at the meeting is just to have one house. And to me, the decision the party take is the best. Changing the currency is not the issue there, but extending time for people to have to change their money. To me, no matter how you vote in the general election, it will not make you to win, because you cannot, the vote you are buying can never go round the country. So therefore, all what we are after is to see that the general public are sympathized, especially those at the rural area, that they are farmers, that they tip the soil, they farm, they cultivate, These are their belongings. These are their hard-earned money. So they should be compensated and be extended time to go and deposit their money at the bank. That is, he goes along with the decision of the governors and nothing more than that.
But the question remains that the APC, you've supported the president's policies for the better part of 8 years. This time around, it seems as though only or majority of the APCs are the ones who have an issue now with this policy. What's going on? Do you not trust in the president anymore? Don't you think he has the best interest for Nigerians? I mean, he made a concession that 200 Naira notes can be, taken back into the coffers and all that. Isn't that enough to alleviate some of these challenges, while also preventing people from buying the election so that your candidate wins free and fair? It
is not. I used to say this time without number that all these politicians you are seeing, they have their ways of getting money. Have access to the banks. Many of them have banks of their own. So it will be unfortunate if the president will take that decision, because holding the note will not stop Atiku Abubakar from bringing out money. It will not stop Bola Ahmed Tinubu for bringing in money. It will not stop Peter Obi and Konko. So they all have their own ways of bringing out money to get support, to get vote. But what we, the governors, are against is that this policy is too harsh. In the sense, we have different policy in every state. The way Lagos State run its business is different from Kano, from Kaduna, and all the states are having a central bank. What they're supposed to do is each and every state governor should go back with his state, you understand? Find a way in order to what? To bring all those old notes in order they should be disposed in time. But the decision the president is taking, it is not right. That is why we APC, we try to voice out, we try to tell Mr. President that this decision is not fair. The best thing he's supposed to do is to extend in order what there should be fairness and justice in the changing of the note. If not, there is something against the issue of changing of the note.
All right, I'd like you to come in here. What are your thoughts on this matter?
I think my colleague here is trying to manage the facts of these issues. The change of the swap of the Naira is very apt, like I have always emphasized. When Nigerians clamored for a free and fair election, the president is quite aware of the system that brought him to be, and he has vowed that he will leave the electoral system pure and clean. And one of the processes is ascending to the electoral laws. Today, we have a refined electoral laws that is going to govern the 2023 elections from bottom to top or top to bottom. Again, one of the cankerworm of a political process is financial inducements. He has checked it capitally. If you do not block financial inducement in this election, people will still run down all the fine processes, all the fine policies that are articulated in the electoral laws today. So they had come up timely. Politicians didn't see this coming. That is the one fantastic aspect that I like this policy. They never saw it coming. So he has said to us that for us, first of all, not to have financial inducement in this election, let us change the Naira. The Naira change is for so many reasons. You can look at the statistics that came on board. 2.7 trillion Naira of our money is in circulation unused. Nobody knows where it is. It's either in the hands of politicians or in the hands of kidnappers and the people that cannot come and boldly to use it. I'm shocked that they streamline this to farmers. How much will a farmer keep in his home to the tune of 2.7 trillion in the economy? This is childish to say about. What we are saying, APC is not the only political party that is going to be affected by this law. Why are they crying more than they believe? We have 18 political parties. 17 political parties have said to themselves that, including INEC recently, have said to themselves that this policy is fantastic. So far as it's concerned, let everybody go and have a fair level playing ground. Nobody is going to induce. I like one thing they said. Of course, monies will be used, but it is not going to be to that effect where you will be able to truncate or manipulate the electoral process. So I don't know why the APC kept crying about this policy. Now they've now streamlined it to farmers. How much can a farmer keep? These monies we are talking about is not in the hands of those farmers. They are too huge for a farmer to keep. We are talking about trillions. So farmers do not have such capacity. What I perceive is that it is hurting to them, and it's so ironical and ridiculous that today the APC presidential campaign council and the governors was opposing the policy. This is why from ab initio the APC is not a political party to reckon with. This is why from ab initio they are not a stable political party you can contend with. Everything about the APC from 7 years to now has been disastrous to our country. They are now, it's unfortunate that the president has come out to bow out successfully. The president has come out to see that it keeps the country, even though the downsloping country, what will propel this country back is, first of all, the level and the new set of leaders we are going to elect is what is going to propel this country back. And one of the process is having a free and fair election. One of the process is having an election that is not induced regionally, and financially. And this is what the president has kept in place. So I don't know why they are worried. My friend here said that governors should go and bring money from their states. I begin to wonder, what kind of statement is that? What right do they have to go and gather money for CBN? That is not correct. My brother, the law has not also stopped politicians or even criminals to go and return their money. The law says banks will not receive 1,500 notes. However, these notes should be brought to the central bank for reception. Why is the APC crying? You can still take this farmers' money to the CBN to deposit. But for the commercial bank, he said no. So it's a fine policy that has come at the right time for every Nigerian. See, everybody hands is on deck for this election. And no political party, whether the leading political party or opposition party, is going to truncate the smooth running of the election. We must learn to get it right. And that is where President Muhammad Buhari is going on. And that's why I want to give thanks to the 17 political parties that have stood by this law and ensure that our country gets it right. All right.
I'd like you to come in here now. Let's speak specifically now to some persons within your party. We have, take for instance, Governor El-Rufai, who released a sort of a video or a communique to the residents of Kaduna State hours after the president had released his, and he basically referred to the president's deadline as illegal and artificial. Is this? Don't you think this is getting into a dangerous waters where it seems as though the state governors are revolting against President Muhammadu Buhari? Is this how things should be, even if there is some level of disagreement? Is it right for these governors to say categorically to their people that continue using that money, everything is okay?
If you understand the statement of Governor El-Rufai of Kaduna State, what he's trying to say is he's generalizing on the masses, not on his own or on politicians. What also I'm trying to say here is we are not trying to say if this money should be extended, the changing of this money should be extended for our own benefit. It is for the masses. Now, it is very difficult for anybody, for any citizen to have a new Naira note, which is very difficult. You understand? Let government give each and every central bank that right to dispose that money according to their state jurisdiction. That is what I mean. I don't mean that farmers should bring their money. No. The ways farmers kept their money, most of them kept it at home. They don't keep it on bank. Many people, there are a lot of local government that don't have bank. How are they going to dispose this money? If you are telling them to go to the CBN, many of them are afraid of even going to the cities, going to the general public. So El-Rufai is not trying to say that, although the president is wrong, to my own saying also. Why is because as the president of the country, you could have decided to sit with the governors, make decisions with them, that this is what you want to go on with, but not only discussing with the Atomic General and the Central Bank Governor, which the country has been into a situation that the economic of Nigeria has been in a situation of downfall. So the only way Nigeria can rise up is by extending this policy, extending it in the sense that other states that has the larger economy, like the places like Onitsha, Lagos, and Kano, should have a way, an easier way of exchange of commodity. But if not, now there are a lot of people that want to even travel to go back for the election. They don't have money. They don't, because they find it very difficult. If they are taking transfer, sometimes the network will fail. So extending the policy, the governor of Kaduna State and the governor of Kaduna State, Kano State, we are not against the president, but they are trying to tell the president that we are civilized. We are in a global world now. What we need is try as much as possible to be open to the public. These are your reasons. These are your reasons.
Just a question. You know, you said this is being done in the interest of the people. You know, one might wonder. It seems as though this is the first time, historically, in the government of the APC, this has never happened. Or, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, you know, where there's an obvious divide, and there have been a lot of policies and a lot of things that have affected a number of Nigerians in a way that perhaps was not favorable to them, or they didn't see favorable initially. Don't you think it's a cause for concern when it seems as though the president is trying to enable a free and fair election, and for the first time, APC governors can now see that the president can be wrong? You know, they defended every other policy, every other decision. So what's so special this time around?
What's so special is, you see, in our government, the issue of banditry, the issue of COVID-19 stopped a lot of development, especially the economy, the downfall of the economy, especially the issue of COVID-19, which affected not only Nigeria, it affected almost all the whole world. Bringing this policy at this time is very wrong. The policy can be brought. The time of President Musa Yar'Adua, he brought the change of 100 Naira note, which let it be extended to the time that it can be able to circulate.
But are you not worried your opposition might buy the election?
I don't believe in buying of election. Election can never be bought. In a general election, it can never be bought.
All right.
You understand? You can never buy election, because you are talking of 356 local government, 36 states of the federation. You understand? And a lot of polling units. There is no how, if you are using money to buy vote, there is no how you can circulate all those areas in order to buy vote. You understand?
Yeah, but one of one of the APC members, I think Honorable Dogowa, said recently that he needs, if I recall, 70 million cash to handle the elections. You know, one wonders, what's that money for?
That's in the constitution of Nigeria. Everybody need
in cash.
In cash, it can be in cash. It can be it can be anyhow. But that money is now the party will need money to settle the delegates, not the delegates, the observers. You understand? Every party will have a body that watches over the election. If not, a lot of things can happen. You understand me? That's the essence of that money. But not to give money to those that they are going to vote. The money that is being allowed in the constitution is not to give the voters. It is to give those that will look after the election. You understand? Members of the party that will stand for you, because the presidential candidate will not be there on the polling on the day of the voting. The gubernatorial candidate will not be there. But those agents of the party that are there, might have left a lot of their activities. You understand? They sacrifice a lot, so that money is being there to pay them.
All right, let's quickly hear from Mr. Duke now. I guess you have reactions to this.
Yes, I think my friend here is trying to make the whole thing look a little bit difficult. The CBN policy for cashless society, it does not truncate transactions. But you want to call it a daily transaction, you want to call it electoral transaction, whatever transaction you want to call it, the transactions that will go on during elections are there. What they only emphasize is that it should be cashless, you know, and this policy is to prevent there are so many indices these policies will prevent. Now that is that. Secondly, what amount of money does a political party need to pay its agents, and to what tune that will frustrate this fine policy we have today? Election is just going to be a day election. We are talking about a policy that will transit into good economic process for the nation. So why are they so insistence that this policy must go? Thirdly, I keep insisting, CBN have not said that those monies should be left behind. Farmers, politicians, whoever that is in the custody of those monies could still take it to the CBN.
What do you make about what he said, that it might be difficult for farmers to go all the way to the CBN?
Why? No.
Some persons even complain that the CBN is located perhaps in the city.
But unfortunately, that is the law. We are saying the same thing. Unfortunately, that is the law. If you have, okay, I will say that if they say everybody to go to CBN and win a trophy, people will not go to CBN and collect their trophy. We shouldn't be ridiculous and be childish about these things. Take those monies to the CBN. There's CBN, like rightly explained, there's CBN in every headquarters of the state. So these monies can be transported to go and bank. I wonder what volume of money a farmer will be carrying that will not be able to take it to the CBN and judiciously bank it. That is that. This casted policy has lingered for almost 3 months, if I'm not mistaken, or 2 months. So how difficult? What is the difficulty for people to have gone to deposit their monies? As I speak with you, almost everybody in the locality at the level have gone to deposit their money in the banks. These politicians that are having huge amount of money, then the people having issues with these policies. Their inability to go and bank billions that they've kept because it's going to be questioned. That is where the line is drawn. We shouldn't pretend about these issues. That is what is also preventing the CBN to bring out more cash. So it's these politicians that are putting us in this problem we are having today. So because if you don't take those monies back to the bank, the CBN is also scared of bringing more money out into circulation.
Right, but the issue now is, from what Sanusa is saying here, is it seems as though the governors are saying we stand for the people, the common man out there. So the question now is, are the opposition parties considering these people, those people who are going through the daily stress? I'm still
emphasizing.
There are some persons who don't even have bank accounts and so on.
The stress of this policy, the stress, this would have just been a seamless policy. The stress is coming up now because of people refusing to bring the monies in circulation, those old currencies in circulation back. That's where the problem is. If we have, for instance, we have 4 trillion in circulation, and 3.5 trillion or 3.2 trillion had been taken back to the banks, you cannot tell me that CBN will not print and release such equivalent amount of money to circulation. Yeah, you can agree with me that cannot happen. But now there is an issue on ground. The monies are not coming as they expected to issue out more money. So it is keeping the economy slow. It is keeping transactions slow. So we should rather call on our politicians to take their monies back to the CBN so that monies can be released. The APC governors are not protecting any citizen. That is the truth of the fact. They are protecting themselves because this huge amount of money we are talking about is even in their hands. EFCC has published 1 or 2 publications about who is holding money in the country. So I think maybe federal government needs to also give them amnesty to bring out such huge amount of money. So that's what the problem is. However, I also want to agree that after the stipulated time, those money should go as illegal tenders. Our country must get it right this time around. It has no implication. Every child can explain this thing I'm telling you. Every child that understands what is going on can explain this thing I'm telling you. You cannot say, how many farmers do we have in the country? That you want to say that it is because of farmers that you extend. What about the traders in the east? Why are they not complaining? The traders in the east that engage in export and importation. Why are they not complaining? So you want to streamline this policy to northern farmers? Are we going to say that only northern farmers are storing to the tune of 2.7 trillion stored in the hands of farmers? That is not true.
Right.
We all are aware that the APC governors are the problem of this country.
If you are
as they are going now, because it is their government, it is the federal government that have sat down. And let me educate my friend. I've not seen where the president should invite governors to discuss a policy with them. That is wrong. The governor has his prerogative. He has his line of operations, and that is not challenged, as you can see it. Whatever they are doing, the Supreme Court cannot even judge on this matter. The Supreme Court is federal government itself. So what I know and what is happening in our country, this is a dangerous move by the APC government, and this is why they can never return to government again.
Okay. Right, let's say from
if you are talking of we are doing it for the benefit of the governors, the governor has the right, he has the security to take his own money to the bank.
Then let him take it to the bank. This is what I say.
And if you are saying
the governors should take their money to the bank, that's what I say.
Is favorable to you, you don't sympathize with those.
No. The policy is favorable to the economy. No, it's not to me.
If to the economy, those that boost the economy, the poor masses boost the economy. The farmer, the traders, they boost the economy. Go to the bank and see the line of people at the POS. You understand? People who leave their locality, they use the whole day. Somebody will want to go to the hospital. For him to get cash will be very difficult.
Tell your governor,
saying it is favorable to the economy.
Tell your governors to release the money with them.
Since the CBN have seen
2.7 trillion,
you understand?
APC's governors
since the CBN have seen this, that yes, the APC government are having money. They should extend it, and then there should be a whistle blow by the EFCC and ICC. You understand? To grab them. But not stopping. Stopping means that therefore they have a hidden agenda. If there's no hidden agenda, this is a policy that have been open. If you have any money, bring it to the bank. Anybody that is going to CBN to deposit, they know the actual person, because when you get to the CBN, you have to fill. You understand? They can trace you hereafter. How did you get that money? But what you are saying, it is genuinely out of point. You are not being sincere to the poor masses of this country that are suffering every day.
Okay. My friend, what I've said is not different from what he has said. The issue is they are talking about time elongation. My brother, there is time.
There is no time.
CBN has said, CBN till today is saying that for the commercial banks, do not take this money there again. Those monies, that 1,000 naira and 500 naira denomination, please bring it directly to us. Please, what is the problem with that?
We have, like in my
sorry, let me finish.
In my
and because that is not done, to the tune of 2.7 trillion, CBN is unable to release more money into circulation. Your governors are not pursuing that clean line of the policy. They are busy pursuing the lines that concerns them.
But to be fair, as the CBN said themselves, that is the reason they are not doling out more cash.
That is it. They've said it. The MFLA have said it. Look, we have to protect inflation. If we have almost 2.7 trillion in circulation, mark my words, unused, unidentified, it cannot be located into any bank. That is dangerous. It means that it's in the hands of unknown persons, in quote, politicians or criminals, because we know that in this country, criminals, people that bandits have also demanded for lots of millions, and that would have also constituted a fraction of monies in unknown in circulation. Now, CBN is saying that these monies are not in dead bodies' hands; they are living human beings' hands. So therefore, look, if you bring these monies back to the bank, it will enable us to release more funds. Are we saying that 2.3 trillion outside, they should still print on that 2.7 trillion into circulation again? You know what that will do to the economy? The governors should concentrate and do the right thing for our country to move ahead.
All right. Let's quickly delve into the political aspect of this now. I'd like to hear your thoughts. What do you think this does for the outcome of the election? There are about 10 or so governors now that are seemingly in a face-off with President Muhammadu Buhari. Now, prior to President Muhammadu Buhari's message where he categorically stated that the Naira swap and everything came from him and not from the CBN governor, as had been alleged in the past. There were talks that there is a cabal, there are people in the APC government who do not want the APC to continue. Now that it seems as though everything is coming directly from the president, what does this mean for the elections?
The president, the president, see, we are not talking about any policy or any action favoring any party. No, we're talking about a policy or an action.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
I don't like when you say, does it favor a party? We're talking about Nigeria here. We're talking about getting this dispensation, this new dispensation that is coming, getting it right. And one of those things we should do to get it right is to ensure that the election is free, fair, and credible. Yeah,
but people under credibility, the policy is working against them.
Why would an APC government hurt an APC government?
No, but I mean, here
the question here is that the president perhaps is aware that his political party is one of the most corrupt political party. If they are going to own it, that the policies on Naira swap is aimed at offending or demeaning the APC as a government, it means that the federal government, the present federal government, is aware of the antics of the APC governors. That is the implication. They should also check it that way. If not, it means that the man meant well for the country. There was no need for even the president to have even gone to say the policy was not from Amefile. There is no way he would have made such policy without getting advice from the CBN governor. That's one other truth again. But these things are meant to straighten the electoral laws. The election, outcome of election, I tell you, any serious-minded person will go out and vote. What is happening in the Naira swap and all of that does not have anything to do with our elections. People will still travel to go and do the election. People will still turn out because 2023 election is key to the coexistence of Nigeria. Nigeria is almost gone down, and we are all determined. People will travel. People are still doing transactions. Transactions have not stopped. The only thing that has stopped is huge physical expenditure of funds. People are still transacting. I agree that the times are a little bit difficult. The networks are not functioning properly. This is where NCC will come in. NCC will come in now to ensure that they work very assiduously to ensure that they improve on the network provision. Aside that, every other thing about this policy is okay. I don't think there is anybody on earth that want to spend fiscal money to the tune of 200, 300,000 naira a day. The banks have said that if you want to do that, go into the internet and do such transactions. We must get this country right. We must know how the currencies of this country is moving, and that is what they are trying to do. For the election will go well, very peacefully. There is not going to be any form of discouragement. People will turn out in their numbers and vote. It's only the political parties, and I'm seeing it's a danger to the APC. They are not concentrating in campaigning, they are concentrating in how to go and collect money to induce the election. That will not work.
Let's hear from Mr. Musa. I'd like to hear your thoughts. How do you think this affects your chances in any way?
Yes, what brought this at the initial stage is the issue of having a transmission of government from the north to the south, which it is the law of our party, not the law of Nigeria. You understand? Our party has governed for 8 years from the north. We see it is right for it to go to the south. You understand? To go to the other part of the country, which is not in favor of some people that thought they have a say in the north, that they can be able to stop it, which they are very wrong. To me, whosoever is trying at the presidency to say that power should remain in the north is wasting his time. Why? Is because we are in a civilized world now. It is then that somebody, a leader, can just come and tell you this is who you vote for, and they go and vote for. The masses are ready to vote for their choice. You understand me? They are ready to vote for who they want. You understand? If you talk of the issue of corruption, it has been clear. All these presidential candidates, they have been in government before.
All right, Mr. Musa, just a moment. Let's hear from our caller. Good afternoon. All right, we lost that call. Please go ahead.
You understand? They have been in government before. I think the most corrupt person among those people has been Atiku, who has privatized the economy of Nigeria when he was the vice president of the country. All what we are saying is there are a lot of mistakes that have been done, but we have seen the right channel that want to correct these mistakes and nothing more. Whether corrupt or not corrupt, we are talking of the renewed hope. We are talking of the new Nigeria. We are talking of the victory and prosperity of Nigeria. That's what we are talking of. You understand? So the other political parties should not think or get it wrong. Our presidential candidate has been in interaction with the presidential candidate of PDP. They were all together. You understand? It's only the Labour Party candidate that have not been together with them.
All right, just to round up now, I'd like to hear from you now. Because your candidate was one of those who first raised this issue about whether you ought the cash or fail, I will still win. So it seems as though is a call out to the president. I'd like to get your thoughts on that. But before then, let's hear from one of our callers. Good afternoon. You're on through the Polity. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello. I think we lost that call. Let's take another one. Hello, good afternoon. This is the Polity. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I am Kano. I'm calling from Cross River State.
All right, Mr. Kano, go ahead.
Talking about Polity.
Please go ahead. You have about a minute. Yeah?
Hello?
Yes, you have about a minute. Please make it hasty, please.
Yeah. You're talking about they have been in government. Yes. You must be in government to know what is government. We should be talking about voting somebody credible.
Thank you.
A credible person. To be sincere, I was once an APC member. But to tell you the truth, you have failed me. I am praying they should not use force. Without force, Tinubu will not go anywhere. Because he failed Buhari. The same Tinubu failed Buhari. He made Buhari fail.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Kano. I'm so sorry.
They called me.
All right.
I am telling the truth.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Kano. Thanks for calling. And let's quickly take another call.
Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon. This is the Polity.
This is Alaba calling from Sokoto.
All right. Please go ahead. You have about a minute.
I just want to contribute to your discussion.
Go ahead.
I don't know why we don't have shame in this country. Hello?
Yes, go ahead. We can hear you.
I don't know why we don't have shame in this country. Why will APC have now to come out again after they have dealt with us in this nation like this? The same Tinubu who brought Buhari to power. Look at the way they rubbish the whole country. And this man, Musa, whatever he call himself, is still there talking. You are some of yourselves, so APC.
All right.
God will judge all of you.
All right, thank you so much.
All of APC for what you have done to this country.
Thank you so much. We have to take another call now. Thank you. All right, I think we've lost that call. Please, let's just get some closing statements from you. What are your thoughts about this election cycle? In 5 days to come, what do you expect?
Everybody's aware the APC is going to win the election. What APC is going to win the election? Rather, I want to talk to Nigerians. We should not be deterred. We know that the APC governors presently, they are trying to redirect the tune or the face of the election. They want to see how they will postpone or stop these elections, but Nigerians are far bigger than that. Right. Come this Saturday, people should turn out en masse to ensure that they vote. Right. And by the grace of God, you're going to have me here on Saturday to celebrate a victory.
Also, okay, all right. All right, let's hear from another caller now. Good afternoon. Who are we talking to? Good afternoon. Please, your name and where you're calling from?
Okay, I'm calling from Enugu.
All right. Please make your contributions. You have about 30 seconds.
Okay, I'm here in West Virginia. I'm calling from Enugu State.
Go ahead.
We are very disappointed in APC government. The Enugu APC government is already disappointing Nigeria. Whoever that is making that the APC that is going to win the election is a lie. So
So that you come before this that you will have to say, look at, I
All right.
want to go and collect money.
All right.
Collect my money to two. If I collect my money. All this is a fault from APC government.
All right.
The governors from APC, they are the people that are involved in all this problem. Let us go and discuss with the bank people, all these bank managers.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. We've run out of time. Thank you so much. Mr. Musa, please, your last statements. We have to go now. Just quickly, your expectations or thoughts. What to expect in 5 days?
To me, we are going to win this election. We can't compete with a fraudster that has the plan to sell the economy of this country when he was a vice president. It is all clear. Our presidential candidate was a governor. You understand?
That is the
all
character.
This, listen.
I cannot be sitting down here.
You said it. You said our governors,
yes.
You understand, are corrupt. They are the ones holding money. With the CBN governor have not said anybody,
that language,
have not mentioned
that language is too difficult.
No, it's not too difficult. No,
we've actually.
Let me say something.
We have to mind this language. I wouldn't think that.
No. See, we have all strength that come on Saturday, we are going to win this election.
Right.
Our presidential candidate is saying it plain. With money, without money, he's going to win.
Right.
Because they thought APC governors are trying to get money to give the presidential candidate,
right.
Which he knows with money, without money, we are going to win.
All right, Mr. Musa, Mr. Dukalambo, thank you so much for coming. Thanks for your thoughts. We hope to have you back sometime soon. Perhaps after the elections, we'll see who turns out to be the winner. You've both made declarations here. All right, that's all we'll take on this segment of the program. And I can see more calls coming in. Just hold off. In about a minute, we'll be right back with the next segment of the program, and you can call in to join the conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.